Juggling balls, juggling balls, juggling balls. Today, I'm going to be talking about juggling. Now, why should you bother learning to juggle? Well, juggling is great for your hand-eye coordination. It's great to help your brain multitask, and it makes you look a lot cooler. Now, I myself have been juggling since I was 12. Pretty good at it, pretty qualified to teach you. So, today I'm going to be teaching you the basics of juggling, stuff you need to work on if you want to start juggling. You can pretty much use any ball-shaped thing to juggle with. And today, I'm going to be talking about a little bit more on why you should bother learning to juggle. I'm going to talk about the basic skills you're going to want to develop so you can get started juggling. And I'm going to be talking about how to get more fluent at it once you start to pick it up. So, first of all, let's start with why you should bother learning to juggle. Well, as I said, juggling is great for your coordination. That's great for anyone who plays sports, plays video games, pretty much anyone that does anything with your hands and your eyes open. It's also great for your brain's ability to multitask. We're all in college. We all know what it's like to multitask. A million things to do at once. And for example, you're listening to my speech right now, and you're also thinking about how your speech is going to go. And as I said, juggling greatly improves your coolness factor. For an example of this, I was at my senior prom, and there was a clown there, and he was juggling. I was like, yo, clown, I can juggle too. So he threw me the balls, and I was like, yeah, and everybody just thought I was the coolest kid on campus. So that could be you next time. So next, let's start talking about the basic skills you're going to need to develop to get started juggling. As simple as it is, the first step to this is just going to be that up and down motion, and that's going to help you start to judge the weight of your juggling object. It's going to help you start to develop a standard throw, so you don't really have to think about your throw as much when you get started juggling more than one ball. And once you think you've mastered that complex step, you're going to move on to the next part, which is developing your X pattern. That's the pattern you use whenever you're juggling 3 balls at a time, and for most simple juggling routines. As simple as that seems, that's the pattern you're going to use. You want to get used to that. And then you're going to move on, once you think you have that down, to a much harder step, which is developing your reflexes. Once you can master this alternating motion, you'll know you have the speed to actually do it with 3. So once you've covered all of those, we can move on to my last point, which is getting fluent at juggling. First, we're going to tackle juggling 3 at once, and that's as simple as just following that X pattern and not losing your focus. You just want to stay on that X pattern, and also don't forget to work on your timing. Timing seems a little hard because now you're adding another ball to the mix, but basically for your timing, all you have to remember is that every time a ball strikes your left palm, release one from your right palm, and you should be good. Ideally, you have 2 balls in the air, 1 ball in your hand most of the time. You're going to have 2 in your left, or 1 in your left, 1 in your right for a split second in between. And then we can move on to developing your focus for when you're juggling in front of people, and you don't want to drop it and look like an idiot because you just said you could juggle. So what you want to do to work on that is to work on not focusing on the balls when you're juggling them. If you start looking at one ball too much, you're more likely to drop both of them. So you definitely want to develop that focus really well. And then once everybody can juggle 3, generally people want to start knowing, oh, how can I do tricks? How can I do cool little things to impress people? Well, I don't really have time to show you that many tricks right now, but there's lots of videos on the internet that can help you do that. And one thing you need to remember, though, when you're doing that is that height is everything for tricks. Height makes it a lot easier to pull off all those crazy little nuances you can add to your juggling routine. But one little thing you can add in is just throwing that alternating motion in with your juggling routine. And that's a special trick you call dropping a ball while maintaining your credibility. That can only be attempted by professionals. But that is a little thing you can add to your routine to impress people, and you already really know how to do it because you learned how to do that before you started juggling 3. So to conclude, today I covered why you should bother learning to juggle, the basic skills you need to develop before you can start juggling, and how to get more fluent at it once you start to pick it up. And once again, that's going to help you with your coordination, with your multitasking skills, and with your general cool factor. So I hope you all enjoyed the presentation, and I hope you all take the time to learn how to juggle while juggling college learning.